Today in the shop we have a 2011 Molten Orange 6.2 Raptor Super Cab truck that's pretty much stock minus a few mods and some very aggressive offset wheels and tires. Now guys, this thing, it spends most of its time on road. There's no denying that, but the owner wants to make it a little bit faster. So that's what we're gonna do here today. We're gonna throw a blower at the 6.2, see how much power we can pick up, throw this thing back on the dyno, take it on the road, have some fun, but we gotta get to work. So let's start with the teardown. Before we can add our shiny new Go Fast parts, the old stuff has to get out of the way first, so Joe and I are working on the disassembly, and I'm gonna rip out this intake manifold and add some fun stuff. Let's do it. Well, as you can see guys, the LTR or heat exchanger, whatever you wanna call it, is in place loosely right now. Joe's been humping along on this thing pretty good. He's got all the electrical stuff done. The heat exchanger pump is already in place here. This is actually gonna cool the water that flows to the intercooler, which lives underneath the blower actually, so air to water intercooler if you want to call it one of those. And basically, again, just help keep that air charge cool entering the engine. With this in place, there's some hoses you have to plumb up to the intercooler, and then we get to the fun stuff. Well guys, things are happening fast here. Joe's cranking away on this thing. I'm diving in when I can to help out, but I figured I have to introduce you to the part that will be adding a lot more horsepower to the Raptor behind me. Well, here it is guys, the Roush Phase 2 TVS Supercharger kit. I like the Roush kit. We have a lot of experience with these things here at AmericanTrucks because they're gonna add instantaneous power and a very linear power delivery. So good no matter what you're gonna do with your truck, whether it's towing, off-roading, or if you just wanna blow the tires off on this thing on the street. Obviously you have the star of the kit, the 2.3 liter rotor pack here, the lower portion, which is your air to water intercooler. Basically this thing is gonna take the place of the factory intake manifold. They give you new high flow fuel rails, 47-pound injectors, twin 60mm throttle body, big old 110mm intake system here as well, along with the included Roush calibration, which they say is good for 590 horsepower, 590 foot-pounds of torque at the crank. But we're not using the Roush calibration. We're gonna dial up our friends from VMP Performance for their expertise with the TVS blowers, guys, and we should be looking at a lot more power using their tuning services. If I had to guess, I'm gonna go mid to low 500 horsepower. Hopefully torque will be in the same ballpark as well, but time will tell. For now, we have to get back to work, get this thing installed, and get it over to the dyno. So Joe and I just finished up setting the Roush blower in place on the air to water intercooler. That thing is torqued down. The pulley is installed, 75mm pulley here with the Phase 2 kit. Should put us in the 8 to 10 pound of boost neighborhood. And honestly, it's looking damn good under the hood. This is just how it should have come from the factory, guys, but anyway, I digress. Now, it's a little tough working on this thing because the engine's kind of tucked back underneath the windshield a little bit, so luckily Joe has some small hands, don't tell him I said that, and we're rolling right along on this thing. We have to finish up with our fueling setup, we have to finish plumbing the hoses, so basically what I'm trying to say is I need to stop talking and get back to work so we can fire this thing up. And with that little bit of tightening there, the blower installation is officially wrapped here. Now granted guys, I'll be completely honest, Joe knocked out a lot of the work for me here while I was taking care of some other stuff, so I hopped in for the easy part, finish things up with the cold air intake here from Roush. Again, 110mm is the design or size of that bad boy right there to feed all of the air to that new 2.3 liter TVS, which by the way, looks right at home underneath the hood of this 6.2 liter Raptor. Now, this is pretty much the big portion of this build, guys. This isn't a lot of stuff going on, but he did want to install one more part to make things a little bit louder, so we're gonna get this beast up in the air, install that for him, and then it's time to get over to the dyno and make some noise. And those tips are the proverbial cherry on top of this small but mighty build, guys. The Roush catback exhaust system. Again, the owner of this truck wanted to make things a little bit louder. Well, he's gonna get that and then some with this catback. Rock solid system, guys, on just about anything. Full stainless steel build, 3-inch mandrel bent tubing, and a whole bunch of volume. One of my favorite systems on the site without a doubt, especially for the 6.2 liter truck. So that's gonna do it. There's only one more thing to do. Get this thing over to our dyno jet to see how much power that Roush combination is good for, and then go out and have some fun. We just wrapped up with our TVS blown dyno pool here with our 6.2 liter Raptor. That Roush exhaust was absolutely screaming, but let's break down these dyno numbers. 457 horsepower, 463 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels, now thanks to that Roush blower under the hood. Now, sure, they're not 500 plus, which is a little disappointing, but at the same time, the reality of the situation is, guys, this is just what these trucks make with this blower and this boost level, and of course that VMP tune. Compare that to our baseline numbers of 345 horsepower, 365 pound-feet of torque, which is very healthy for a baseline, and we're still making over 100 horsepower and just about 100 pound-feet of torque at the rear wheels, increase over those baseline numbers. So huge gains across the board, should be a lot of fun out on the street. Let's take it out and see what she does. All right, guys, well, just supercharged your 6.2 liter Raptor. What's the first thing you do? If you answered burnout, you are correct. That definitely does a burnout. You know what? I'll be the first to tell you guys, I was a little disappointed with those dyno numbers. I was hoping for something with a 5 in front of it, but driving the truck, all that disappointment has quickly gone out the window. Listen, man, this thing feels healthy. We've definitely had a lot of experience in naturally aspirated 6.2s myself personally. I currently own a 2017 Raptor, and I don't know, man, just my initial impressions with both, it's honestly too close to tell. The EcoBoost, they have a lot of low-end torque, but now the TVS, I'd say, is easily on par with that, because that's one of the sweet spots for these blowers. They make big torque, typically earlier on in the power band, and same could be said for this thing. Now, granted, you have a lot of displacement working for you here on top of forced induction, so it's kind of the perfect storm. And overall, the truck feels a lot faster, right? I mean, should be no surprise, seeing as though we're making over 100 more horsepower and 100 more pound-feet of torque to the tire. Well, we're at a red light, just did a bunch of power mods. Might as well have some fun, right? This thing just lays one healthy strip with these massive 35 by 12.5s. I mean, anytime you can throw a blower on a Raptor, it's not a bad day in the shop, right? On top of that, we also threw in the Roush exhaust. You guys can hear it, right? Let me rev it up for you. Sounds good. Sounds really good. I mean, it's a little boomy inside the cab when I'm kind of leaning into it. I'm about quarter throttle right now, but then you get out of it, it kind of shifts into sixth. Dead quiet. I can drive around in this truck all day long. The Roush sounds sweet. The newfound power of the Roush TVS blower and VMP tune is certainly doing its job under the hood. It's a badass truck, it really is. I love this color on the first gen Raptors. Love the sound this thing is putting out. All in all, a great build. We hope you guys enjoyed it. No, it wasn't the craziest thing we've done, but we certainly got crazy stuff in store down the road. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And for more great truck content, keep it here at AmericanTrucks.com.